Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to today's unseen video. We've got a few more bits to do with the Wyatt Sicks and then we've got a few other things for us to get our teeth into. But we're going to start with the Wyatt Sicks folder. Here we've got Leaping Lucha Larry, who said, I was just talking about this mask a few days ago, wondering if we would see it again, and now it is back on the shop. So here is the Uncle Howdy replica mask is back. This was 9 hours ago on WWE Shop, available right now. You can get to WWE Shop via a link in any and all of the videos and streams on the channel. And you can even save a bit of money at Euro Shop if you use the Days 15 code, which is very cool, very useful. So yeah, this is back. Leaping Lucha Larry was saying, I wonder if it makes its way back onto screen. I'm under the impression that this is still the mask that Uncle Howdy uses. I think it's just that the mouthpiece is cut away, so this mouthpiece is not there anymore. They might have cut away a bit more around the eyes as well, but by and large, I'm pretty sure this is still the mask that Uncle Howdy has. So, yeah, this is the replica mask. They probably could make it a bit more like the one that Howdy uses, but perhaps they've just got like a load of old stock knocking around. Perhaps they've just found another box of like the old Howdy masks and like, that'll do. That'll be fine. They can make their own. Just cut the mouth out. It'd be all right. So there we go. That is now available again. Right. This caused a bit of a stir, and I must admit I do feel sorry for Kyle Scarborough, right? So shout out to TJF 1983 who asked if I'd seen this. I had not seen this, so let's have a little walk, shall we? This dropped yesterday, and I think this was on Ringside News, so the Wyatt OG via Ringside News. So while speaking to Soundsphere magazine, artist Kyle Scarborough, who collaborated closely with Windham in designing the Fiend character, revealed some interesting facts about Bray. Scarborough shared that Windham was not fond of the idea of bringing Firefly Fun House characters to life as part of a faction. Although the concept was pitched to him, Windham felt that all of it was meant to exist solely in Bray Wyatt's head. If the characters were to ever come to life, he believed he should portray each of them himself. Scarborough recalled their discussions from a few years ago. Reflecting on his direct relationship with Windham, Scarborough explained how the corporate creative side often proposed ideas that Windham disliked. Windham would then task Scarborough with designing alternative concepts. Windham was particularly upset about the idea of bringing the Funhouse characters to life as a stable of people dressed as puppets. He believed it made more sense for him to portray the characters, keeping them within the psychological realm of the Funhouse. Speaking to that direct relationship with him, because the corporate creative side would come in and say, we're going to do X, Y, and Z. And he would go, oh, he hated it. And he would say no. So he would task me to design something else. He always wanted a counter offer. If they came at him sideways with stuff, he would say, no, I don't like that. I want to do this. He was very upset at the time about the idea of bringing the Funhouse to life. I believe the company or someone wanted to have an entire stable of people dressed up as puppets, and he was not into it. So the counter that he made, and I spoke to this already, but that's why Huskus, almost Leatherface with the big giant metal spikes piece, made it out there. That was something that he requested because his counter offer was, well, I will play the characters, keep it in the headspace of the Funhouse. Lots to unpack there. Now, what I'm going to say is, when I got sent this earlier today, my first thought was, that's really interesting. That's really interesting. I wonder how he would feel about the character's being played now, right? But I never took it as he would hate what we're doing now. I didn't take it that way. I just took it more, oh, I wonder how he would feel about what we're doing now. And the reason why I didn't take it that he would hate what we're doing now is because the situation is completely different. You know, if you think he's talking here about how he wants to play the characters himself, well, he can't, because he's no longer with us now. He wants to keep the characters within the fun house, which is in Bray's mind. Well, he can't, because Bray's no longer with us now. So, you know, these characters can't stay in his mind because Bray's no longer with us. So the whole situation is completely different now. And the other thing as well is that Bray, by the sounds of it, didn't like a lot of the ideas that WWE were bringing to him. So he was trying to find counter ideas so that when they said, we want to do this, he could go, no, how about we do this? And he had something ready to show them, right? But I think the reason why is because Vince was in charge. And I think that he didn't have any confidence in Vince and WWE to do the right thing. WWE's motivation is money. That's what they're motivated by. That's what they're trying to do. They're a business that are trying to make money. Yes, they want to put on an entertaining product, but they want to put on an entertaining product so that you watch and they get more sponsorship money, more ad money, they get more ticket sales, more merch sales. The better product they put out there should result in more money. And at the end of the day, it's all about money. So Wyndham, Bray knows WWE are going to take his creations and they're going to primarily use them to make money. It's not about necessarily telling the story that Bray wanted told. It's about making the most money. So you could understand Bray being pushing back on that, being reluctant about that. But I don't think that is Bo's motivation. I don't think what Bo is doing is because he wants to make loads of money from these characters and he wants to sell loads of merch. I genuinely believe Bo's motivation is to tell the best story possible and to do his brother proud. So it just feels like we're in a completely different situation right now. This just does not feel the same as what we're doing right now. So I don't look at this and think, oh, Bray would hate what's going on right now. I look at this and think that's really interesting that they were talking of doing this in the past. Something people wanted. Fans wanted the puppets to come to life. But little did the fans know that apparently Bray did not want that. So I just think this is fascinating. I think this is absolutely fascinating. And I think it's a little bit of a shame as well, because it seems like some people have taken it that what we're doing now is maybe not what Bray would want. And so I think there has been a little bit of pushback. I've not seen the pushback. I really haven't. I've not seen anyone saying, you know, what we're doing right now is disrespectful or anything like that. But I think Kyle has, because Kyle has actually come out with a few more follow-up comments. And Kyle even responded to this tweet. So I just put the word fascinating, because I do think this is fascinating. I found this a fascinating read. I don't think that what we're doing right now is wrong. I'm loving what we're doing right now. I don't think what we're doing right now, Bray would be against. You know, I don't know Bray, but I don't think he'd be against it. I think he'd be right there supporting his brother, saying, you know, do the best with, you know, the characters, do the best, give the fans magic moments, you know. And I think that what we've done so far has been excellent. So I do think this is fascinating, but I don't think what we're doing right now is wrong either. But Kyle actually responded to this, and he also put out another message as well. So it seems like there is a bit of pushback, and that's a real shame. That is a real shame. Hopefully, hopefully the Bray Wyatt fans, the Wyatt Sicks fans, can sort of, I think, take this the way that it was intended. Just a bit of information about the past that is meant to live in the past. It's not connected to what we're doing now. So actually, I want to just skip through some of these bits, and I want to go to the Kyle thing. Here we go. So here, you can see that the Wyatt OG put this message out, right? Kyle Scarborough claims Bray Wyatt opposed Firefly Fun House characters coming to life. So Kyle, like, quote tweeted this. He says, look, one thing has nothing to do with the other. Different time and circumstances entirely. Plus, the interview was done before the Bo Howdy vignettes, which were fantastic. I'll say it again. If his family is on board, great. Doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. So those were Kyle's comments. And this is what he responded to with the fascinating thing I put. He says, correct. That's how he felt. But it was 5 years ago. Mountains out of molehills. So it just sort of suggests that Kyle's been seeing a little bit of pushback on this, which I think is such a shame. Because I think, like, for him to come forward and, you know, share some information that we didn't know before and actually give us a bit of an insight into the past, and then he faces a little bit of pushback as a result, I think that's such a shame, because all you're doing is you're just going to stop other kind of revelations from coming out because people just won't feel comfortable enough to do it. So it's a real shame, that is. Hopefully this, you know, gets treated with the kind of respect that it should be treated with. Right, Michael said, Vince, he wanted to bring the characters to life for merchandise money, and Wyndham wanted to tell a story. It's noteworthy. Uncle Howdy asked Bo Dallas, do you actually believe you brought them to life? Suggesting he knows that the Wyatt Sicks aren't the actual puppets. I love that from Michael. I think that's really good. I do believe Uncle Howdy did say that to Bo. Do you actually believe you brought them to life? It sort of suggests that these may not actually be the puppets brought to life. It just might be that these people have been brainwashed into thinking that they are the embodiment of the puppets. It might just be that these people, Nikki, Dexter, Joe, Rowan, have been hypnotized or made to believe that this is who they are going to be going forwards. But they're not actually the puppets. It's just they've been given new vehicles. They've just been given new identities to kind of, you know, find a way forwards. So I do like that line. It does kind of keep us in the grey area. You know, are these the puppets brought to life? Maybe not. Maybe not. Perhaps these people have just been made to believe that they are bringing these puppets to life. So Uncle Howdy asking, do you actually believe you brought them to life? Very good. Something to chew over there with all the comments that you've heard. Chelsea Green, Brady, shout out to you. So Chelsea Green was interviewed on 10 Count Media, and Bray Wyatt got brought up. And so I think this is the greatest compliment to his life, is to be able to carry on this amazing legacy. He just brought something so unique and special to WWE. His personality was amazing. He was such a kind and smiley human being who was very warm. You did hear that a lot. Always joking about backstage. He brought to the WWE just something we hadn't seen. A realistic, creepy horror thriller. And nobody had done it like that. I really think he is smiling down at his brother and others. Lovely words from Chelsea. She continues here. We need an Alexa Bliss return. I hope it's this year or at WrestleMania. I think that would be awesome. Button on what Bray started. There is another one as well here. So Crimson, shout out to you. I think that this is the greatest compliment in his life. Oh yeah, we've done that one. So this is the same one as before, but I read it again and I loved it so much I included it twice because it was lovely. So some lovely words there by Chelsea. Lovely words. Right, Derek said the first vignette video, the Bo Dallas one, right, the interview, was about coming to terms with inner demons. The second video was about embracing your demons. The third video is redemption through the darkness by walking through the light to the Wyatt door. So that's Derek's thoughts on the 3 vignette videos that we saw. Are we going to see another vignette on Monday? Or could it be now that because Bo has spoken to Adam Pearce, he is now going to be allowed to actually cut an in-ring promo? Because he couldn't really cut one before because he wasn't meant to be there. None of them were meant to be there. You know, none of them had been drafted. So as a result, they're not really meant to be there. They attacked everyone backstage. Security had been stepped up to try and keep them away. They were having to hand deliver the VHS tape promos. So, but now I think that all changes because I think he spoke to Adam. I think they will have found a way forwards. I think, you know, I've said before, I expect it to be a case that basically Bo and Adam reached an agreement where the Wyatt Sicks are allowed to be on the show and they're allowed to have matches and they're allowed to be competitors, but they've got to respect the fact that you can't just attack like producers. You can't just attack people in Gorilla. Like, you know, we've got to feel comfortable around you. And if we can, then we can help you kind of find a way forward and face the people that you want to face, which we think will be the new Alpha Academy at SummerSlam. And talking of SummerSlam, I find this very confusing. Here's David, look. So Alexa teasing her return with a Twisted Bliss shirt. So this is really confusing because this is an image from Pixie Dust Denim, right, who's made a jacket. And it says, I think, Twisted Bliss. And it says, craziest kids jacket I have ever done. So it's got, there you can see, like, Alexa on. And there's a kids jacket. And this has been, like, I don't know, reposted by Alexa. I can't quite work out what this is. I don't know if this is actually telling me anything. Or has this person just made a kids jacket and Alexa's reposted it? Or are we meant to be reading into this? That, like, these are some clues as to what she could be coming back as, because it's not often that Alexa reposts things to do with wrestling. Normally she's at Disney World, or normally it's something to do with her baby, but we do get this jacket, so I don't know. I don't know. Might be something, might be nothing. Obviously, we are expecting Alexa very, very soon. Actually, Tom Collihue actually said time to start getting excited and posted a picture of Alexa, I believe, Raw on Monday. I believe it's in Ohio, which is where Alexa is from. So, you know, there's a few thoughts that we may get Alexa on Monday. We may get Alexa on Monday, but we don't know. We really don't know. I mean, I've been expecting her at SummerSlam, but it feels like we're getting closer. It's the noise is certainly getting that little bit louder. Let's go WWE, see what we've got in this folder, shall we? So here, look, we got Jimmy Uso has been medically cleared. Should be coming back very soon. So WWE Ethan, shout out to you. Yeah, this is random. So this is Call of Duty, right? WWE is bringing its best to the ring in Call of Duty Season 5. This is a boxing ring. Look at the turnbuckles, where you've got, like, the thing that goes straight the way down. It's not a wrestling turnbuckles. You've even got the thing that keeps the ropes together. This is a boxing ring? So I don't get this. I don't understand. I don't know. I don't even know what Call of Duty Season 5 means. So, but either way, there's going to be some sort of crossover here. Call of Duty, WWE. Dubs tagging me in the official tweet, which I really appreciate. Don't know. If you're into Call of Duty, that sounds very exciting. Cal said she's already on live events. It is true. An announcement here that Stephanie Vaquer is going to be appearing in Mexico on the live events. So obviously there's been a lot of buzz around Stephanie. She is coming in, I believe, from CMLL, bit of New Japan as well. She's competed on AEW recently in a big match against Mercedes Moné. And WWE seemingly loving what they're seeing. They've snapped her up, and she'll be competing very soon on shows in Mexico, which makes sense because she was, I think, a decent name in Mexico. So it makes sense to get her onto those shows. Right, Brady, shout out to you. It's worth saying PWN, I'd never really heard of. I follow them, they follow me, but I'd never really heard of them from a kind of being a news outlet. But they obviously spoke about the mid-card women's belts, and that has turned out to be true. Like, Fightful have looked into it, Wrestling Observer have looked into it, and they've heard, yes, this is something that's being looked into. So all of a sudden, these guys, it feels like there is something going on here, like they may have some sources. So they talk about Jimmy. We know that Jimmy is medically cleared on his way back. Alexa, expected to be coming back soon. Motor City Machine Guns have apparently got an offer from AEW and an offer from WWE, and right now they're trying to decide between the two, but apparently they are leaning towards WWE. So this is a TikTok, which I believe is of PWN, hashtag PWN. And honestly, I mean, based on that women's mid-card information they shared during the week, it seems like you can listen to these guys. They don't have a track record with me. It's only that one thing they said which turned out to be correct, which makes me think, okay, I'm listening to them. So yeah, just something to be aware of. Here's Elite Rockers saying it's official. Roman is expected to return to WWE around SummerSlam. No great surprise there, but WWE Ethan, shout out to you. Martel, thank you. Sports Kid are saying that WWE is planning to host Survivor Series at this year's brand new Intuit Dome. So this is in Los Angeles. I have not seen this dome, but looks like it's being built for the 2028 Olympics. So there we go. WWE is discussing hosting the 2024 Survivor Series in LA. That'll be very special at this new venue. Looks great. So yeah, down for that. We got this as well. This is Iyo and this is AJ. They met up ahead of their matches. Apparently they said that it's a shame their matches are going to be on about the same time. They'd love to watch each other's matches. AJ is actually going to be competing in Noah this weekend, and Iyo is going to be facing Utami in Marigold. So as I've said here, it's a big weekend for WWE in Japan. Two main roster stars in two different Japanese promotions competing on two big Japanese cards this weekend. So yeah, very big for WWE in Japan. This, I've got to think, is all part of their global expansion as they're trying to really reach out around the world. And here we go, look, the poster for SummerSlam. Triple H said, buckle up for the biggest event of the summer. There we go, the bloodline. Look at that, Jacob Fatu on the poster. Imagine if someone told you that at the start of the year, that Jacob Fatu would be on the poster for SummerSlam. So there we go. Look, we got Solo, we got Jacob, we got Gorillas of Destiny. I was joking during the stream. It looks like, you know that scene out of Austin Powers where they're going back and forth in that little really narrow corridor and he just can't turn the car around because there's just not enough room. Sort of looks like they're stuck in the alleyway here. It does look like they're waiting for some kind of tow truck to arrive. There's even a little bit of smoke where I think they've just been smashing the front of the car into the wall because they just cannot get out of this alleyway. That's why Jacob's looking so angry, because they are stuck and they are late. So that was actually a bad day for the Bloodline. So there we go. That was WWE. Let's have a look at SmackDown, shall we? Here's Brandi asking a very good question. Was no one else in the back damn, me and Kim would have at least run down and bit somebody. I'm out of practice fighting, but I'm mean as hell on that Peloton tread, and I ain't never had a cavity. So there we go. Brandi Rhodes was ready to come down and fight for her man. So Shaquem, shout out to you. Here's Sweet Chin Wrestling, just pointing out that How to Start a Cult is the book that Piper is reading, which is kind of interesting. I don't know if that's going to lead to anything, but of all the things for her to be doing, she's reading a book called How to Start a Cult. Very interesting. NWL Ninja Jelly, yep, just tagging me in this from WWE on Fox. So here, you are going to have a lot of men in this locker room coming after that championship. Does sort of feel like they're teasing that he might be one of those men, which he might be, but they are also cutting out the next line, which is where Randy said, but I'm always going to have your back. So, I don't know. I didn't really take it that he was referring to himself, but it is interesting that WWE on Fox have kind of just pulled that moment out, because I was watching this, looking to see if there was any little hints from Randy that he was coming for that belt. And I suppose right here he's pointing at it, but he is saying a lot of men are going to be coming after that championship. But he did then go on to say, but I'll always have your back. I do expect Randy to turn on Cody, though, in the future. And then we got this. Rhea Ripley is going to open Raw on Monday. It was announced during SmackDown. Rhea Ripley opening the show on Monday. That is going to be unmissable. Here's Mark saying Dom's gonna die. So we got a couple of folders left to do. Here, look at this. Rubbish. WWE Ethan said, what is this render? So is this a real render? Look at this nonsense. They've got Andrade like this, and then someone's just chucked the speed belt over his shoulder. That's just disrespectful, isn't it, really? You couldn't grab him and get him to pose properly for a picture? Or could you not have just not done that and put the belt maybe here or something? I mean, it's there anyway. Just make it a bit bigger here or something. Like, have you got to do him dirty like this? Sucks. Here's John Cena, look, having a great time. He is at the Ambani wedding. That's literally his only dance move in it, just doing all of this. But there he is at the Ambani wedding. I don't even know what that means, but it seems like it is going off in India. So there we go. John Cena in India. Coach Co, shout out to you. Talking of India, I'm guessing this is India. Missed that time Undertaker and Batista were fighting over a masala dosa. So there we go. Look, these two battling away. There's John Cena with a plate of food. And look at that plate of food. Amazing. So apparently all the WWE big name superstars go to mutton, halim, chicken dosha. They love it. So there we go. It's like the top restaurant for all these WWE superstars. So Watson, shout out to you. We covered that one, and look at this. People have already started making memes out of that SummerSlam poster. Ismar, the real Izzy, shout out to you, said, did you want some nuggets? Let's go. Look at that. Brilliant. And Dean, shout out to you, my friend. 90s WWE Big Popper Pup. It's the best, isn't it? It's the best. Anything that involves dogs is the best. Then we've got just a couple of bits here. Now, I don't know if you knew this. I did not know this. There is a new WWE YouTube channel called WWE Vault, and they're putting up loads of matches, loads of clips, loads of moments. It's just they're opening up the history of WWE, and they've added a really obscure El Generico match on this site. So WWE Vault, that's where you go on YouTube and you will find some really interesting stuff there. There was a Kevin Owens promo from when he was in, I think, NXT, and it's like one of the earliest promos he ever does. You never see it on TV. It was kind of a behind the scenes one, and they've put that up there. That was doing the rounds a few weeks ago. I didn't realize that it was on that YouTube channel. I thought it was on the WWE YouTube channel, but it's on this WWE Vault one. And now they've asked Sammy to name a match, and they've put it up on there, an El Generico match. So Trent, shout out to you. I was really interested in this only because it introduced me to WWE Vault. And talking of a vault, look at this. Miss Clown tagging me in this from the signature spot. I don't know if this is true. This is everything I know of this, right? But in 2013, WWE stored 60,000 items of footage in the Catskill Mountains Iron Mountain facility. This collection of film reels and tapes preserved key wrestling moments. Choosing such a secure remote spot showed the archive's value. If that's a picture of the actual vault, that's amazing. 60,000 items of footage. Wow. And then this is the last thing we've got. TJF 1983, shout out to you. Natalia said, don't look back unless it's to see how far you've come. Now, the reason why I added this is because people are asking about Natalia and what's happening with her contract. It expires this summer, and the streets are saying that she might have had a bit of a lowball offer, a bit of an offer which, you know, was not that great. So people are starting to wonder and maybe even worry, could she walk away? Could we be done with Natalia? I really hope not. You know, what a legend who deserves to be treated with real respect. So I hope we treat her fair. I hope we treat her right. This might be nothing, but don't look back unless it's to see how far you've come. Feels like she's looking to the future. She might want to put a top on, but it feels like she's looking to the future. I hope that future involves WWE. We'll have to see. And there we go. That was today's Unseen. I thought there was some really interesting bits in there, and we went over half an hour. Let's go. I actually didn't think there was that much in there, but over half an hour. So hope you enjoyed the video. Appreciate the support as always, and I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.